breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, this is about the RICO that Birdman is under investigation for, because this case has never been solved. Who killed UNLV's Yellow Boy? The unsolved murder that stunned NOLA. Yo, check it out. Y'all putting in the comments, oh, how do you know this? How do you know this? Dog, I've been living this life for 26 years in prison and violated and was living it when I was on the street. When they start investigating a murder, it never stops. When they says it gets cold, don't mean it's dead. That just means that it's put on the shelf until new evidence came up. And you just heard what this young man said, brought it up, Tech 9. We're gonna sit here, let's play the intro, then we're gonna run through the whole joint, and I'm gonna confront you rat bastards that don't know nothing about the street that come up here talking about, oh, you're the only one talking about it. Because I'm the only one that must know about it, because this is the way the law works. You got a body, they never sleep until they get someone. Now they got an inside source with Tech 9 saying that it was Birdman paid Hot Bezo, and this is just crazy, man. Yo, stop talking so much down there in New Orleans, man. Let's get this thing popping. Oh, subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio. All right? All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're going to get right into it. I want you to understand what's going on, right? This is a cold case that's been sitting. And then from that cold case, then we get this young man here that comes up and he starts to speak on it. Now, this here is an investigation. Now, we're going to go back to this. We're going to play this before we even go there. You know what I mean? Let's get in here.
Was financial disagreements. Yellow Boy and his group mates felt they were not receiving their fair share of earnings for their music.
Right there, that's what you call motive. All right, see, being that y'all want me to spell it out. I can't stand when rat bastards get in the comments. You know? Hey, yo, check, right? This is what you call motive. You have to have a motive for a body. Now, they're showing that they're saying the motive is that he was, about to, the contract about to end. He wanted to go on a national, syndication. He didn't want to be trapped just in New Orleans, and him and Birdman allegedly had a beef. Now, listen to the motive, and this is the way it played out. Someone made a whole video about this so you understand. All right?
These disputes over royalties and financial compensation led to increased frustration and distrust.
UNLV was getting hot in the city, blowing up. And it was time to, I think, renew the contract or something. And Yellow was like, man, first of all, we hot, we blowing up, we want a nationwide deal. We tired of this local stuff. And Baby like, man, you gotta be patient. See, Baby looking at it, Baby had money from the streets. So he good. Yellow, coming from the hood, selling. So it's like, man, listen, we got some hot song. It's time to get us a big deal. So they arguing about that, and they had to fight.
Right there, that argument is what you call motive, because they always ask, who's the last person that seen or spoke to the victim? Who's the last person that had a beef with the victim? That's why when it's a spousal relationship, they always look at the spouse, because they said, okay, the motive is jealousy, envy, rage. Let's keep it moving.
One of the most significant points of contention was between Yellow Boy and Brian Birdman Williams.
See, they're saying that the most is between Brian Birdman Williams. Yo, don't think that the feds is not watching this. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about me, these rat bastards this. They say, oh, you're reporting on it. No, this has already been all out. This is a 3-month-old video that I'm playing, and I've seen videos from a year ago. I'm just explaining to the people so they understand why I say don't get involved in the street. Make sure you know that this is represented by Cashbox. All right? Be coming to you real soon, Cashbox. Send your money. There's a virtual vault in the middle, like a 2-step notification when you're going in Google, that when you send your money to somebody, if you send it to the wrong person, it'll notify you that the person has accepted the money, but the money don't go in their bank. It stays in the virtual bank. And then from the virtual bank, when it notifies you, ding, such and such is picking up the money. You can look and say, nah, that's not the person, and I changed my mind. I don't want to send the money. You could just pull it back, and it never goes into their physical account, but they accept it through the virtual account. Sit back, be on the lookout for Cashbox getting things fine-tuned for you. Let's get back to the program at hand.
Co-founder of Cash Money Records. It was rumored that Yellow Boy allegedly pistol-whipped Birdman during an argument over these financial issues.
If that ain't motive, I don't know what is. Just so y'all understand, man, I'm just giving y'all the real, explaining and breaking down the issues that's going on social media from a gangster point of view. So just sit back, enjoy the ride, you rat bastards. Don't touch nothing. Take off your flip-flops, kick your funky feet up, and tell the trolls to stay outside. All right?
This altercation didn't end there. It was further reported that Yellow Boy also shot at Birdman's truck, which was parked in front of the Melponine projects.
Now, if Yellow Boy allegedly shot at Birdman's truck, that is not motive to take him out, especially from a street point of view. This is how the feds investigate. They came in and I went and spent 26 years in federal prison, had to sit through a trial, and I know how all this goes for me going through my discovery. Discovery is the evidence they give you from the course of the investigation that your lawyers are supposed to look through to look for what they call mitigating factors, or should I say exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence means stuff that X you out from being the culprit, so you could use it for your evidence. 9 times out of 10, they hide the evidence, and that's how a lot of cases go back. If they get a chance to get it heard on appeal, that evidence was withheld. Now, we know that they're saying that Yellow Boy allegedly shot up Birdman's car, so therefore, motive number 2. Let's keep it moving. And y'all think the feds is not investigating this? Come on, man. This is a gangster channel. I know y'all don't like to hear the real. You like to hear the fugazi crap that these little social media never been into nothing, stepping into a field of something that they know nothing about, want to talk because it soothes your soul. But I give you the real, no matter how much it hurts your heart.
There was a rumor that Yellow Wayne shot the house up. I didn't see that. I don't believe that. That's what they running with, people saying that. But I don't believe that happened. But Yellow started riding around with that pump shotgun, though, and he was playing that Dragon from the River, too. He used to ride around that pump with the pump shotgun and playing that Dragon from the River. He had this silver, it was a trooper, a little silver trooper with a lot of sound that he would go all to the 17 wall looking for mystical. Yellow was a wild boy.
These violent confrontations.
See, right there, so you understand what's going on, right? Terrence Williams said that he don't know nothing about those rumors. Right thing to say. But then now, they're speaking on another issue he had to point the feds in another direction. Mystical. Pay attention, because then it goes into Tech 9 as well. All right, let's break this down so y'all understand. These is all motives that's being put out that the feds was investigating. First, they investigated Birdman, they investigated the Mystical, then they investigated Tech 9, and let's see who else by playing this tape out.
Indicated the severe frustration and animosity that had developed between Yellow Boy and Cash Money Records management. The pistol whipping incident, in particular, had been cited by many as a pivotal moment that escalated the conflict to dangerous levels.
Whoa, so now they're saying that Yellow Boy pistol whipped Baby. That's not motive? You don't think the feds is gonna follow up on this when they saying that this man allegedly pistol whipped Baby? And then he turns up dead, and he's already beefing with Baby about his back money and about him trying to leave the label because Birdman don't want to take him, nationwide. I mean, come on, how much more motive do you need? I mean, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, or should I say real news, but just sit back, enjoy the ride, and y'all don't get involved in the street. It's not worth it. I'm telling you, not asking you, I'm telling you, it's not worth it.
This act of aggression allegedly played a significant role in the ongoing tension and contributed to the hostile environment surrounding Yellow Boy in his final days.
All right, stop. So now they're saying that in his final days, that right before that he pistol whipped Birdman. So all of you rat bastards and flip-flop man in public trolls that's sitting here watching this, you don't think that that's a motive? You don't think that they're investigating this? Before we go any further, let me play this so you understand. This is what started it all, that brought this back up to social media right now, right? This is what brought it all back up to social media. All right, so we're going to play it.
So previously on the Mark V show. The rumor y'all heard, it is true. In my opinion, CMR, Cash Money Records, is responsible for Yellow Boy's death.
Come on, dog. What more do you want than that? You don't think the Feds saw this? This is recent. The Feds, you don't think they saw this and now they're going to pull up that old case, dust it off, and say, oh, man, we got one for the books. You don't think they're going to dust this off after that man just said that? All right, let's go back to playing some of this so y'all can understand and we get back.
And the internal conflicts were not limited to financial issues. There were also significant power struggles and disagreements about the direction of the group's music and their place within Cash Money Records. As Cash Money began to sign more acts, such as the Hot Boys, the dynamics within the label changed, leading to further tension and competition among the artists.
Another motive. They started signing the Hot Boys, and now Yellow is mad because allegedly he feels as if, oh, y'all kicking me to the curb to pick them up and keeping me stagnant right here in the local area when you taking the Hot Boys worldwide so that even unique Mecca audio could be hip to them and watch their videos from federal prison all the way in ADX, Colorado, Long Park, California, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Come on, man. Let's keep it moving.
Yella's presence alone could instill fear among other artists, including Turk, who would later become a member of the Hot Boys.
To becoming like, I don't know if they thought that we was trying to take their shine or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It could have been that, I don't know, but it never was our intentions to be the next UNLV, man, because we all looked up to UNLV. I know I did. I was a fan. I tell y'all all the time, I believe Tech is locked up. I was a fan of them.
Turk recounted.
All right, see, just so you understand, he gonna recount about how when Yellow Boy came in to show you how Yellow Boy bad boy, so that's a whole nother motive that they could be using. Remember, this is sponsored by Cashbox. Okay, so where we at so far is we got, Baby done said, all right, forget Yellow Boy. He's too hard to deal with. He done pistol with me, did all this. He don't want to sit back, don't want to wait on the money, don't want to pay on the rules, so we going to create another group and kick UNLV to the curb and push them up front. So now UNLV feel like, as, Turk just said, Hot Boys is taking a shot. So now, that's another motive. Listen to all these motives that come up in the Hot Boy camp, in the Cash Money camp. And I'm just giving y'all the real so y'all know don't get involved because it's not worth it, because this is the way they go back and they break it down, and I'm just breaking out a video that was already done, so they're going to say, oh, Unique talent. No, Unique is enlightening you that it's not worth it and how they investigate these cases so you can see that it's not worth it. You're not going to beat it. Even 30 years later, they come back to get you because there's no statute of limitations on a body. Oh, yeah, free the homie Cito. You know, free the homie Cino. He down there locked up in Florida. Just want to give him a shout out and a round of applause. All right, thank you. And his beautiful wife, hold up, y'all, hold up. And his beautiful wife, Kizzy's holding him down now. Big shout out to both of them. All right, say a prayer for him.
A specific incident from his high school days in an interview with Vlad TV. On this particular day, Yellow Boy came to Turk's school looking for him. Aware of Yellow Boy's fearsome reputation and his involvement in street activities, Turk decided to hide rather than risk a confrontation.
I remember one story, man. Yellow Boy pulled up. I was going to high school. I was going to, I was catching a bus. I ain't even had no car or nothing. So they were like, man, Yellow Boy out there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was like, damn. All the while I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying, they mad because, you know what I'm saying, we the next up and coming group, and you know what I'm saying, it ain't about UNLV no more. So Yellow Boy out there, I'm hiding in the hallway, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm young though, you know? So bam, I'm like, man, I ain't about to go out with him, cause I done heard so much stories about him, like he thugging, he gangster, that, right? You know what I'm saying? So bam, I didn't come out, man. I came out after he left. And
the rumors of the Hot Boys potentially taking over the spotlight from UNLV only.
Yo, Yellow Boy even got them hiding. So now he's saying that Yellow Boy was angry at Cash Money. So angry that he went after the new rappers that they got by following, you know, dude to his school, waiting on him where he got to hide. And then now he's gone down, and you don't think that they was or is going to investigate Cash Money Records with all this in-house feuding? So obviously, let's play this out, because we riding.
Added to the existing tension and rivalry between the artists. Turk explained that he had heard stories about Yellow Boy's gangster ways and did not want to walk around in front of him, especially given the volatile environment at the time. This fear was not unfounded. As Yellow...
You know what? It's crazy, right? Because we're going to ride. We're going to ride, you know, because we're not even going to play no game. The feds is good. Right now, they're already combing through all the old papers, dusted everything off, and they're looking at Birdman. You know, we're going to say a prayer for Birdman, right? But, you know, just so you understand, from what I'm seeing here, I see a self-defense because if this young man is allegedly going to schools looking for dudes with pistols and carrying on and pistol whipping people, in the street, we call that a mad dog that needs to be put down. We had a lot of mad dogs that had to be put down. You know, they got something called rabies, you know, that goes in animals, and, you know, we kind of have it in us too, you know. A couple of times they felt like I needed to be put down. That's how I was shot up 4 times. I mean, that's just it. But I mean, right here, they have it that he's hunting Cash Money. And you don't think that they feel that the hit came from Cash Money? After all this that Cash Money themselves is saying? I'm not saying this. That's why I'm playing the video, so y'all can understand how this works. All right?
Yellow Boy's aggressive actions had earned him a formidable reputation in the New Orleans rap scene. The culmination of these conflicts led to a breaking point. In 1996, it was rumored that Birdman wanted to drop UNLV from the label due to the ongoing disputes and things escalating.
Right there, do you think this young man, Yellow Boy, the way they describing him and the way he was carrying it gangster and aggressive, that somebody could tell him that, yo, I'm not going to give you no more money. Get out of here. I'm going to pick up somebody. I'm going to make a whole new group. No, it don't work that way. That's why they didn't want to mess with gangsters from the street. Give you a good example. Take a ride. Mob Style, right? Mob Style is AZ, Pretty Tone, you know, Gangsta Lou, Whip Wop, right? These brothers here, they had the streets on lock. They got an album that's classic, that's still out there. Go check it out on YouTube, Mob Style, right? Gangsta Lou crushed that joint. Whip Wop, AZ, you know, Pretty Tone, they crushed that joint. But the major record labels was scared of them. Was scared to death, so they wouldn't sign them, so they had to do it independent, and it didn't really leave outside of, a small area on the East Coast, but if it would have went national, they would have been big as NWA because they was in there. All right? But, it is what it is. So now you're telling me they went to go drop Yellow Boy, and Yellow Boy, took it lightly and then wound up coming up there when Yellow Boy's already hunting, the artist from the new group that's allegedly supposed to replace his group, UNLV. Let's play this out.
This decision was met with fierce resistance from Yellow Boy, who was deeply committed to the group's success and their position.
You see what I'm saying? He's saying that Yellow Boy said, you ain't dropping me from nothing. Who you think you are? Maybe that's where the pistol whipping came in. Maybe it was before that. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, they said they had resistance. How could you have resistance from firing someone? How could you have resistance from dropping someone? Those type of resistance is what happened in like the post offices back in the 90s. When you had all those disgruntled people before the internet, when they had so much mail. Right, let's ride. Because a lot of y'all don't really understand what went on. Before the internet, when they had a whole lot of mail going on, going back and forth. Yeah, people working at the post office. All they had to do was just keep sorting mail. And every time they turn around, they said, okay, all I got is this stats. And then now they knock that stats out and hit them with another one. And this went on and on and on, and it just drove them crazy. And then the boss would tell them, you're not working fast enough. And they're like, yo, you're sending too fast. And then next thing you know, the boss said, okay, when you talking back, you fired. Then they go get a joint, and they come back, and they wet up the workplace. That's what they're accusing this young man of now. Just giving it to you real, breaking it down. And remember, again, this episode is sponsored by Cashbox. All right, let's keep it moving.
Position within Cash Money Records.
Well, there was a rumor that there were some unpaid royalties around that time.
Yeah, we didn't find out that until once we had got off the contract. That's when, we went to discovering like, damn, everything we done had this and, had that, and ain't nothing without in our name. So that's when the attorneys came and play and shit like that. And we found out that, we had some unpaid royalties. And we also found out that, I don't know how clear to put it, but they didn't know what they was doing. So,
One of the most...
See, right there what he's saying, right? Right there what he's saying is that they felt they had unpaid royalties, but it wasn't intentional that Baby was robbing them, as a lot of you rat bastards would like to say, because this young man just said it himself, and I know from being back in the music industry back then, we don't know the game. It's a whole new game we coming in with no blueprint for coming from the hood into the music industry. So, a lot of paperwork may not have been, proper, but might not have had the proper royalties where it needed to be. Then the money came in, and then Birdman felt, well, I got the money came to me, that's it. And then now these young men is waking up saying, nah, some of that money that came to you belonged to me. Remember, that's how Lil Wayne went out and wound up suing Birdman for the old money. But instead, they saying that this young man, Yellow Boy, went out hunting for him to get his money when Birdman tried to drop him from the label. Met resistance. See, I break this down so y'all understand this, but let's go back. But right there, I'm going to say like this. Birdman did not intentionally take advantage of anyone. Let's take a ride and put yourself in Birdman place. All right, let's take a ride. So now, man, you got a record label, you put out a record label, and you got your thing going and everything, and then everybody sign on, and you put the records out, and everybody agreed to whatever. You give them what they agreed to, everybody got what they agreed, and next thing you know, you done made, $1 million, And then later on, then you find out that they were supposed to get this and they were supposed to get that, but right now you got $1 million. If you give them what they were supposed to get, then you probably wind up with $200,000. Do you want to give back that $900,000, $800,000 and wind up with $200,000 from $1 million, or do you say, nah, you agree to that and that's what it is? Y'all put in the comments, let me know, because y'all quick to talk fast. Would you give back $800,000 after you done earned it and everybody agreed to the conditions that it was earned on and their split and what they got? Because Birdman didn't intentionally say, oh, I'm going to rob him. I'm not going to put him down for it. I'm not going to put him down for that. No, they just did what they thought they knew would work. But by law, he was supposed to go back and fix it. We know that. But when greed come into play, not say Birdman is greedy, but that could have been one of the scenarios, just breaking it down. Let's keep it moving.
Persistent rumors centered around Birdman Williams and his alleged involvement in Yellow Boy's hit. Yellow Boy's aggressive actions included, supposedly, shooting in Birdman's car and house further fueled these speculations.
Now they're saying that Yellow Boy also shot at Birdman's house. First he pistol whipped him, you know what I mean? He had, allegedly, and then he wanted to get rid of him off the label and met resistance, so Yellow Boy wasn't happy, allegedly. So that's 2 motives right there. Then they saying that he had money for him, that he wasn't paid. That's 3 motives right there. Then now they say that he also shot at Birdman's house. How much more motives do you want before you think the feds is going to investigate these motives? Somebody put in the comments, man, what are y'all just rat bastards? That's why I love you subscribers, and I want to thank my subscribers and my followers that sit back and come here to get jewels. You don't have to agree or believe everything I say, but at least listen to it, process it, and try and comprehend it from where you stand in life and know if you've been through what I've been through, you will see it differently like I see it differently. That's why I'm bringing it to you, and that's what make my channel the Gangster Channel. All right, let's keep it moving.
Many believe that Birdman might have sought retaliation for these confrontations, leading to suspicions about his role in Yellow Boy's hit. Adding to the intrigue, Birdman's 2002 song, What Happened to That Boy, featuring clips, contained the line, "What happened to that boy? He was talking shit. We put a clap into that boy." Some have interpreted this line as a veiled reference to Yellow Boy's hit.
You see how this thing play out from lyrics when lyrics cross over with real life situations?
However, Birdman has consistently denied any involvement, stating in a 2002 interview with XXL, "That's some shit I don't know nothing about." Despite his denial, these rumors persist. Fellow UNLV member Lil Yah had also addressed these rumors. In various interviews, Lil Yah has refuted the claim that Birdman was involved in Yellow Boy's hit. He expressed his belief that the song, What Happened to That Boy, was not a reference to the incident and that Birdman had no role in Yellow Boy's passing. Lil Yah's statement had provided some counterbalance to the speculations, but have not entirely quailed the rumors.
Well, Yella and Baby had a physical fight during the.
Now they had a physical fight. Pistol whipping, bad royalties, tried to drop from the label, shooting at the car, shooting at the house, now physical fight. That's not enough motive for you?
Uptown for Life period. You know, we were shooting a video for Uptown for Life. They had a physical fight. They got into a whoop-de-whoop. You know, that shit was squashed a couple of weeks later, you know.
So what happened in between that 2 weeks? You see what I'm saying? Pay attention now.
Before as the pistol whipping and all that shit, that's rumors, man. Yella did actually go to his house looking for him and, you know, shot up the house and shit. But pistol whipped him and, nah, he didn't do that, man.
Another figure who had been mentioned in connection with Yellow Boy's death is Terrence Gangsta Williams, Birdman's half-brother.
That's been murder that people, whoever just been silent with it. It's just been quiet. It's just like nobody never talked about that. People always talk about the fight, talk about the song, talk about how wild Yellow was, but they've never had someone to come out and say, yeah, I know one did that, or that come from this hood or this block. They just found him in the truck with hair, getting high.
Terrence Williams has a notorious reputation in the New Orleans underworld, and his involvement in various criminal activities have made him a person of interest in this case. In interviews, Williams has denied any involvement in Yellow Boy's hit, suggesting that others with closer ties to Yellow Boy might have been responsible.
The feds cleared me from that because they had to do their investigation. So it happened, Birdman, Slim, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, BG Turk, all those was out in Lafayette at a concert. And it was at them little motel, looked like a little house. Who was there. Tech 9 drove out there to tell us that Yellow had got killed. But it's sad because people will point the finger and say, I did this, I did that, and I'll be with the president, but because of my reputation for them knowing me doing stuff, I get blamed for it.
He emphasized that tracing Yellow Boy's former associates could potentially lead to an answer, though many of them are either deceased or incarcerated.
You hear that? Tracing Yellow Boy's actions could lead. Hold on.
The lack of concrete evidence and numerous speculations have left Yellow Boy's hit officially unsolved. Yellow Boy's farewell service was a deeply personal affair, with his closest family and friends gathered to say their final goodbyes. The rapper was laid to rest in the city that shaped his life and career. His grave has since become a site of remembrance for fans who continue to honor his legacy.
So that's where we at right now, right? Just so you understand, that's how real this is, right? If this don't tell you don't get involved in the street, I don't know what will. If y'all plan on rapping, whatever you plan on doing, do what you gotta do, move forward, leave all this gangsterism alone, because right now you see what it is, so I hope this cleared it up for you rat bastards that act like you don't understand that the feds is watching this, and right now they got a young man that went up there, and this is exactly what he said. I'm gonna play some more of this before I tap out, so y'all really see how this serious it is. This is what's gonna open the indictment up, regardless what you want to want. So you can't say social media people, that social media people, but that. Now, this young man with this statement is what's gonna pull that cold case off the shelf.
And a close affiliate of theirs, who goes by the name of Hot Bezel, is the one who carried out the hit. In case you didn't hear me, Cash Money Records orchestrated the hit on Yellow Boy, and Hot Bezel carried the hit out.
Did you hear that? Let's hear the bomb. Let's hear the bomb. Come on. See, yo, this is where I got to tap out. Remember, sponsored by Cashbox. Subscribe to my daughter YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio. See my prison stories at Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories and Mecca Audio TV. Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories, Juanita Mecca Audio, and Mecca Audio TV. Go subscribe, show some love. Let's keep this moving. You know what it is. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can give back to the. Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs.